In my 10 years on council and 35 plus years of community engagement, I've learned a lot about Second Ward, neighborhood issues, concerns, priorities, and about our city. More than anything, residents reasonably expect their tax dollars to be spent wisely and their council member to be responsive and effective in addressing their concerns. I have worked hard to do both. In serving on council under 3 mayors, I've also learned that local government's most effective when it's inclusive and when decisions are made are based on broad input and diverse perspectives and viewpoints, not groupthink. I think it's fair to say I brought a balance to City Council that didn't exist for several years before. A balance that I think is not just healthy, but essential for effective local government. Over the past 4 years, I've also worked hard on priorities that as I go door to door, you continue to tell me are important to you. Priorities that I share include police and fire protection, neighborhood safety and traffic, infrastructure reinvestment, streets, sewers, stormwater management, and our parks. As I said at the outset, it's an important time in the Second Ward right now with the proposed residential developments and construction projects. It's also an important time for downtown with the decision to be made on the city-owned library lot. Some folks say that it's downtown versus neighborhoods and it's development versus preservation. It's not either or. In fact, they're all interrelated and complementary. We have a strong quality of life because of the character and vitality of our neighborhoods and downtown, and our parks, rec facilities, and green space. Our job as council members is to build on those strengths. And the best way to do that is to insist on economic growth and development that complements the very character that makes Ann Arbor so attractive to businesses and developers in the first place. We're fortunate we can be selective, and doing so will bring us the sustainable economic growth we need. Our jobs as council members is also to ensure residents' voices are heard and responded to on the issues that matter most to them. I've worked hard to do that, and a good example is the proposed developments on Nixon Road and the traffic impacts. Hearing loud and clear from neighbors the concerns about traffic, and that was not just having to do with the Nixon Green Road Barn intersection, but the entire Nixon corridor. A Nixon corridor traffic study was planned for 2018, and I took the lead in moving it forward to conduct that study now, not wait until 2018. In its endorsement of my re-election 2 years ago, the Ann Arbor News said, quote, "She has helped bring more transparency to council discussions, asking the skeptical questions that others weren't asking in the past. There's more open debated issues as a result," end quote. I think that's a good thing, and suspect you do as well. I'm hopeful I've earned your vote on November 3rd, and thanks for your consideration and all of you for your time today.
Thank you, Jane. Sally?
Thanks. I want to talk a little bit about fiscal responsibility. We are bound by our oath of office as a city council member to protect the assets of the city. This means not voting against our own laws, including those which define development and zoning. Are you for or against development seems to be a popular question to ask a candidate, but I would say that's not really a relevant question. We can't be for or against development. We have to follow our own rules. If we don't like the rules, we need to change the rules. 413 East Huron has come up, not in this forum today, but I've heard it going door to door. I voted for 413 not because I liked the building or thought it was appropriate for the site. I didn't vote for it because I was worried about a lawsuit. We worry about uncertainties. In this case, a lawsuit was certain because it fit the requirements of our zoning set in 2009. I voted for 413 East Huron because it was the fiscally responsible thing to do. I want to highlight 3 personal characteristics that I feel set me apart in this campaign. The first is effective representation. During my term on council, I communicated with residents through monthly newsletters, town hall meetings, and conducted the first ever Ward 2 citizen satisfaction study. This is an example of not just responding to citizens' complaints and issues when they come to the council member, but actually inviting engagement and being forward-thinking and providing a platform for common dialogue that is proactive rather than reactive. The second characteristic is sound judgment. As I mentioned before, city council members are often faced with controversial decisions. I will be committed to my practice of researching both sides of the issue, listening to the experts, and listening to different viewpoints in the community. I am passionate about serving this community, and you can count on me to be fair and inclusive in doing so. I am an independent thinker, and an independent decision maker and not beholden to any one faction on council. And the third is an unbridled enthusiasm for all things Ann Arbor. I love this city. I enjoy the parks, the neighborhoods, the downtown, and I recognize that the downtown itself is a collection of neighborhoods. The promise of the future excites me. A growing private sector, redevelopment on our riverfront, a new universal access playground in Gallup Park, and the ability for everyone to live, work, and play in Ann Arbor. My plan is to lead us toward this vision.